In this video, we're going to be looking at the neural control of breathing. Alright, so the nervous system, of course, controls breathing, and it all begins in the brainstem. So let's title this Breathing Control. Alright, so let's go ahead and I'm going to draw a picture of the brain stem over here. So this over here, this is the cerebrum. Right, and you remember the three parts of the brain stem. There's the midbrain, the pons, and then the medulla oblongata. There's our brain stem. This is the front, so I'll put this as anterior. And this is the back. This is posterior. Alright, so we have some neural control centers located in the brainstem. Two are located in the pons and two are located in the medulla. So let's look at the two respiratory centers, the neural control centers located in the pons. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a color here. Let's try this green. Okay, so here's a pons center right here. There's one here. And then let's put one over here. Okay, this first center up here is called the pneumotaxic center. So I'm going to draw an arrow. This is called the pneumotaxic center. This is located in the pons. This one helps to regulate breathing rate. Breathing rate. Alright, the other center, right here, is called the apneustic center. And this one, when activated, causes slow, deep breathing. Okay, so we have the apneustic center and the pneumotaxic center, both located in the pons. The slow, deep breathing caused by the apneustic center is sometimes called apneustic breathing. Alright, let's pick another color here. Maybe let's see how red works. Alright, there are two centers located in the medulla. I'm just going to draw a couple of lines here. I guess that doesn't work real good, does it? What about this? That's a little better. Let's draw two lines here. These are located in the medulla, and together these are called the medullary rhythmicity center. So let's fit that down here. Medullary rhythmicity center. And the medullary rhythmicity center consists of two groups of neurons, one in the back called the dorsal respiratory group and one in the front called the ventral respiratory group. So let's draw an arrow. Here's the dorsal respiratory group. Dorsal respiratory group. And this one works with the pneumotaxic center to regulate breathing rate. So it works with the pneumotaxic center. The ventral respiratory group has a different function. So let's draw a little arrow here for that one. Ventral respiratory group. And this one, when activated, causes forceful inhalation and exhalation. inhalation slash exhalation. Okay, the ventral respiratory group, when activated, causes forceful inhalation and exhalation. So if you just take a deep breath right now, it's the ventral respiratory group that's causing you to breathe heavy, that's controlling that. Now, the cortex has a little feedback too. The cortex has an input, I should say, into the brainstem. So you can consciously, breathe slower or breathe quicker. All right, so these centers then are sensitive. They have to monitor something. They're going to monitor something in the blood. But what do you think it is? Well, you could monitor what? You could monitor oxygen, you could monitor carbon dioxide, and you could monitor the acidity of the blood, or pH. So if we're monitoring oxygen, we would monitor PO2. If we monitor carbon dioxide, we'd monitor PCO2. And if we were monitoring acidity, we would monitor pH. Well, it turns out the respiratory centers in the brainstem tend to be more sensitive to CO2 and pH than they are to O2, than to oxygen. So it's really carbon dioxide and pH that come into play here, that they're sensitive to, that they adjust breathing rate and rhythm to adjust these levels of CO2 and pH. All right, so the normal rate of breathing then is, and let's just change the color one more time, 8 to 16 breaths per minute. 8 to 16 breaths per minute. Okay, so that means everything's working fine when you're breathing at that rate. Now, these centers then have to connect to something, and they do. The centers all connect to the diaphragm via these nerves called the phrenic nerves. The phrenic nerves. The phrenic nerves, of course, go to the diaphragm. To the diaphragm. And so the phrenic nerves exit at nerve roots C3, 4, and 5. And there's a popular saying, C3, 4, and 5 keeps the diaphragm alive. That means if you have a spinal cord injury at this level, then you may need to be assisted with regard to breathing. You need to be on a machine. All right? So that does it for neural control of breathing.